hopefully you will be soon. What economic policies would you help implement around the floating of the naira, or and also to reduce, these losses? Because as just an ordinary person, seeing these losses to me translates to budget cuts for those companies, which translates to either layoffs, massive layoffs, or reduction in employment opportunities for Nigerians that work in those companies. So, how would what would you do around the floating of the naira? Thank you.
My brother, let me tell you, is if you look at my tweets about the issue of Naira exchange, I mentioned it in that tweet I mentioned about 19 of September last year. First is that what you have that is affecting your Naira value is the value of your reserve. And what drives your reserve is export earning. And what drives the export earning is production. Because your sources of revenue, as far as foreign exchange is concerned, is oil, which most of it is stolen. You have no agriculture, you're not expecting enough. Your factories are not producing enough for export. You have difficulty in dealing with the issue of earning dollars that would have increased your reserve and helped to stabilize and reduce your rate of exchange. What we have recently is every country in the world, I can tell you, manages the rates of its exchange. Yes, they will tell you you can float it, but you can't float without knowing or managing your supply. You can't float what you don't have. I believe that the rate of exchange, Naira, was overvalued. For me, the first step would have been to do the things I would say here that I would have done to be able to get some funding that would have allowed you first devalue the currency, because it's overvalued where you have a situation where you have 450 official rate and almost 750 as parallel market rate, which was allowing all sorts of things. If we had moved from 450 to about 600 or thereabout, and be able to still manage it by getting enough money to meet up existing obligations. Corporations and people will lose money, but not meeting those existing obligations will increase confidence for people to come back into the market. And then, remember, one of the things that foreign exchange rate is unproductive money that's all over the place, which I call the corruption side of it. Because some of this exchange rate that is going up and everything, the dollars are not being purchased by those who are using it for productive purposes. It is being purchased and used for corruption purposes, which Everybody is involved. So you can stop it. Today, for various political activities, and people in government are now transacting in dollars. It is an open secret. So we are in difficulty. Some of these we have to start doing it differently. I'm not going to say, that's why I said I will not be dwelled in the process of yesterday. I'll be dwelled in the process of today. When I was in government as a state, we decided to have what we call subnational savings. And that was why in Anambra State, we were able to have, by the time I left, $150 million in savings. We said we're going to divide our savings into three. One should be in foreign currency. Since we trade in dollar, let's save in dollars. One should be in naira, the other will be in investments.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023. And the outcome of the election is still being disputed at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, from where it will eventually end up at the Supreme Court. But before then, Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president until the Supreme Court says otherwise. And many Nigerians are looking up to the Supreme Court to really tell them who actually won the February 25, 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. Now, Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party and a major stakeholder in that election, on July 29th, Saturday, 2023, he was on a Twitter space that was hosted by the Parallel Facts. And he was interacting with Nigerians, thousands of Nigerians. I happened to be one of those who listened, who joined and listened to that Twitter space conversation. And like we heard from this video, which is from that conversation, Peter Obi was asked what he would have done differently, or what he would have done about the floating of the Naira, which had been a major policy of the present government of Aswad Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because the floating of the Naira, let us be frank about it, has worsened the economic state of Nigeria and Nigerians. If you go and check the value of the Naira before the floating and the value of Naira today, you will know that Nigerians are passing through hell because of this policy. So it was instructive that Peter Obi, who many Nigerians are praying for, that the courts should do justice and help him to retrieve his mandate, that he is asked what he will do about this. And he was very, very clear and unambiguous of how he would have handled the situation. And from his answers, which you have heard, you can see that he has clarity of thought on how to handle a situation like this. And he was very clear about it. he first of all looked at the country and asked, where do we get most of our foreign exchange? The money we use in purchasing the dollar, where do we get it from? And he observed, and rightly too, that we get this money from the export of oil, basically. The oil and nothing else of significance. And that much of the oil itself are being stolen. Just literally being stolen. And then the rest are being taken away by corruption. And he was clear about it that what we are passing through is because we are not a productive nation. We are not productive even in the oil sector. Because if we are productive, we will protect the oil sector and stop the pillaging in that sector that is bringing a lot of dollars into the country. We are not productive in our agricultural processes. We are not productive in our factories. So how are we to get the dollar to boost our reserve so that we can strengthen the Naira? So we have difficulty of earning dollars. And this was exactly the same thing he was talking about before the campaign, that he wants to move this country from consumption to production. There are many people who don't understand what he was saying. What he was actually saying was that I want to strengthen the Naira. I want to strengthen the Naira against the dollar by boosting productivity and increasing exports so that Nigeria can earn more dollars. And he talked about the fact that our leaders are even frittering away the few dollars available in the country to the level that the productive sector of the country don't have access to the dollar. It is difficult for them to get the dollar through the official window. Those who are into production, factories, those involved in agricultural value chain, they don't have access to dollars. But those who have access to dollars are politicians who are using dollars for unproductive ventures, for politics, for corruption. And he said that this is a common knowledge that that is where we divert our dollars, to corruption. And if you followed carefully, recently there was this allegation going on about selling of jobs at the Federal Character Commission, or Federal Character Commission or something like that, that is being investigated by the National Assembly. The secret coming out from that place is about the selling of jobs by commissioners, alleged selling of jobs. And one of the revelations that was revealed there was somebody was alleging about how some of the officials, they sell jobs that's supposed to go for ordinary Nigerians. They sell the jobs to the highest bidder and convert the money into dollars. That was exactly what P2B is talking about here. Taking away dollar from the system for the process of corruption, while people like the producers, manufacturers are looking for this dollar at the official window, they can get it. That is what put the Naira the state it is today. And P2B obviously would have done something different. And he said it. You listening to him. He said there are things he would have done to boost the Naira, but which he could not say there, that he can say publicly. And he reserved the right to say it. He reserved the right not to say it until the appropriate time. But it was clear from what he said that the problem of Nigeria, the problem of the Naira, is our lack of productivity. And now he said, because we have not been good in productivity, so that we can boost our export earnings. And because we are mainly a consuming nation, there's no way he would have allowed free float of the Naira. You know, you can see how he said it, that they may be encouraging you, all these international agencies, World Bank, IMF, and what have you. But the truth of the matter, as he pointed out, is that no country allows its currency to be floated. And he's right. The British government spends a lot to ensure that the pound sterling does not lose its value anyhow. The same thing with the Americans. They protect the dollar. No country, no serious country. But we did it in Nigeria, and we are seeing the consequences of floating the Naira. The thing was almost slipping out of their hands. Now they are trying to make a retreat, a kind of go back. But they don't want to come public and announce it, that what we are experimenting will not work. They wanted to make MFL, who have been guarding the Naira, no matter how, no matter if whatever may be the force of MFL, had been protecting the Naira. They think they know better than MFL until they floated the Naira and discovered that, look, we better do something about it. Because the Naira is almost going the way of the Zimbabwean dollar. So P2B was categorical about it. He wouldn't have floated the Naira. He wouldn't have allowed it to be floated, because no reasonable country allows the floating of their own Naira, their own currency. They protect it for good or for ill, but at least to ensure that the value of their currency does not depreciate to the level that it becomes almost like a worthless toilet paper, which the Zimbabwean currency almost became under Robert Mugabe. So it was a very enriching conversation. And you know that, yes, Obi is the person who is a good financial manager and who will have done enough to give the Naira its real value. You listen to him, and so that he was clear. He admitted the fact that the Naira was overvalued. That the Naira was overvalued. That's in itself shows how honest he is on this matter. Because even the international community, the IMF, the World Bank, they keep saying Naira is overvalued, that the Naira should be floated. But people will disagree in the idea of floating, because floating will do a lot of damage for an unproductive economy like Nigeria. We have seen how the floating of the last few weeks had put the Naira, and it's also at the roots of the high cost of fuel in the country, because with the Naira going lower every day and the dollar gaining over it, the cost of importation of fuel and other essentials in Nigeria have made the cost of living unbearable for most Nigerians. So it was instructive, it was enriching listening to Peter Obi, and those who listened to him that Saturday, and you that have had the opportunity of listening to it now, at least it gives you an idea of the mind of the man who asked for your vote and who many of you voted for, but for the alleged rigging, and which was the reason why he is also in court. He did say a lot of things on the financial state of the country, and made reference how he managed the economy of Anambra State, where he saved 150 million dollars saved for investment, saved in dollars and all that. And he made reference to how Ngozi acknowledged in her book, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the World Trade Organization Director General, that he was among those who encouraged saving. There is no doubt about it that Twitter space conversation that Peter Obi had with Nigerians was an enriching exercise that I am glad I participated in it, and I learned a lot from it. And I believe that many Nigerians who listen to it will have no doubt that their trust in Peter Obi is not misplaced. He is a man of capacity, a man of integrity, a man who can really move this country from third world to first world. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.